speaking of television, it's time for our weekly tribute to the FCC, where we bleep and blur things, whether they need it or not. It is this week in Unnecessary Censorship.
There are other physiologic changes associated with aging. The skin loses elasticity, and wrinkles increase with age. The mucosa becomes thin and easily abraded. There may be decreased flow, which can affect the ability of some patients to wear. And lastly, decreased neuromuscular control and adaptation is extremely important over the long term of a patient's ability to. Many famous people have suffered from the ill effects of early loss. George Washington had problems beginning in his mid-20s and had only one natural left by the time he was 45 years old. Washington had several made during his lifetime. Opposing springs helped retain the but put pressure on the lower giving him an odd facial expression. Here is a picture of one of his. The upper had a swaged gold base with ivory held in place with wooden nails. The lower was carved out of ivory. This is another one of Washington's. The bases were made of lead coated with beeswax. Elk were set in the upper and human were attached to the lower. The lack of retention, stability, and support with this made it unusable and contributed to Washington's misery in the last years of his life. As an example, can anyone guess what this contraption is? Now, take a look at how it was used. This stand-up used so much pressure to make his mid that his used to fall over. This device kept the from falling backward while the was being pressed against the. The should be wide enough to encompass the tuberosities and long enough to extend from the labia to both hamular notches. The should be wide enough to encompass both retromolar pads and long enough to extend from the labial to the retromylohyoid fossa.